You strike me as someone who can keep things on the down low. Yeah, I think you're trustworthy enough. So let me pull back the curtain on what's brewing right now. This one's courtesy of 21SHARES. Ring a bell? If you've been anywhere near the XRP space, you know who they are. They're up to something interesting in the background. Peep this headline from Crypto Basic. XRP, 21SHARES says, can you keep a secret? Okay, so what's happening? They're rolling out an XRP spot ETF. Like, we're talking days away at this point. They threw up a post that spread like wildfire through the XRP crowd, at least enough to get people buzzing. And look, they hooked me. I'm literally sitting here making a video about it. Mission accomplished, 21SHARES. Well played. Now, don't get me wrong. Post or no post, I was going to dive into this anyway. But yeah, smart move on their part for generating some hype, because it absolutely worked. Pleased at the thing about XRP interest right now. Yeah, we've been crab walking sideways through most of 2025, but people still care. That said, I need you to understand something. Compared to the absolute frenzy we saw just over a year ago, this doesn't even come close. Not by a long shot. So let me tell you why this gets me fired up. This is textbook behavior for a thriving coin. The stuff I'm going to pull up in this video, a struggling or forgotten coin could never pull this off. XRP adoption keeps trending in one direction, and it's honestly satisfying to witness. Quick sidebar before we dive deeper. I need to throw this out there. Zero financial credentials over here. This isn't financial advice, and please don't make any buy or sell decisions based on anything coming out of my mouth or keyboard. All right, so XRP is legitimately on fire right now, and I've got the receipts to prove it. We're talking raw data here, folks. This isn't opinion, these are hard numbers. XRP is running the show, and the buzz surrounding it has reached unprecedented levels across its entire lifespan. Yeah, you could mention those explosive price spikes, but that's not what I'm tracking here. I'm looking at the everyday baseline activity, and that baseline is still sky high. Every time I check these numbers, my jaw drops a little. It's genuinely exciting. Now here's the post from 21SHARES, verified account and everything. Their entire message, can you keep a secret? There's a whole comment section under this, 135 replies if you're counting. I won't read through all of them, but the XRP crowd is having a field day because everyone's picking up what they're putting down. Can you keep a secret? Come on now. We all know you're gearing up to launch an XRP financial product, some kind of derivative offering, and it benefits XRP holders. Yeah, your secret's out, but hey, 162,000 views, and I'm sitting here dedicating a video to it. They played me. Whatever, moving on. Here's what Crypto Basic had to say about this whole thing. The XRP community woke up to a cryptic message from prominent asset manager, 21SHARES specifically, in a post on X. 21SHARES wrote, can you keep a secret? However, it didn't remain a secret for long, as members of the community quickly deduced that the hint was related to 21SHARES is widely anticipated spot XRP ETF, ticker symbol TOXR. Notably, the ETF has now been approved and will begin trading on Monday. With this move, 21SHARES becomes the newest major player in the growing XRP ETF market. Yeah, so let's not kid ourselves. This is 100% what they were teasing. They knew exactly the game they were playing. You sneaky strategists over at 21SHARES nailed it. It worked like a charm. Here we are, can't stop talking about it. 21SHARES has secured approval for its US spot XRP ETF through a Form 8A filing dated November 20th. The product will list on the CBOE BZX exchange under the ticker TOXR and will carry a 0.5% management fee. Trading begins Monday, just 2 days from now, marking the 5th spot XRP ETF to go live in the United States. And folks, every bit of this demand is genuinely organic and it's ridiculously huge. So we're looking at the 5th one going live stateside. 5th XRP spot ETF hitting the market. Take a look at what's on your screen. The combined total net inflow for these 4 existing spot XRP ETFs running in the United States just crossed $666.61 million. That's an insane amount of money flowing in. Don't forget, the very first spot XRP ETF kicked off November 13th. Canary Capital launched that one, and they're actually the smallest outfit out of the 4 that jumped in. You see Canary sitting right there, but then there's Bitwise, Franklin Templeton, and Grayscale. Each one dwarfs Canary in size. And despite that, the appetite was absolutely through the roof. Completely insane. This is why I keep coming back to how remarkable this really is. I'm not sitting here shocked, but man, it's legitimately noteworthy. We're talking about the biggest ETF launch in all of 2025, and I mean across every category, not just the crypto space. That XRP ETF from Canary pulled somewhere around 58 or 59 million bucks on day one. Those are staggering figures. And don't forget, this is the underdog of the bunch we're talking about. Solana landed in the number 2 spot, trailing by roughly $1 million in inflows, but that came through Bitwise, a company something like 30 times larger than Canary. Listen, the real deal interest circling XRP is impossible to deny. And where is it headed? One way only. It keeps scaling up, growing bigger, pushing higher. Take a peek at your screen's bottom left corner. That chart tells the whole story. Steady climb, relentless upward momentum, no signs of slowing. Yesterday closed out the most recent trading session, last weekday naturally because you know how it goes. These ETFs go dormant once Saturday rolls around. So yesterday, Friday, that post-Thanksgiving trading day, closed out the month for these spot XRP ETFs. Even with half the country in a food coma, we still saw roughly $22.68 million in inflows. The Wednesday right before everyone carved their turkeys, $21.81 million poured in. The magnitude here is nuts. And this is just 4 spot XRP ETFs operating right now. The 5th player, 21SHARES, starts trading in 2 days. This train's picking up speed, not slowing down. Should we really be sitting here with our jaws on the floor? I'm certainly not. There were breadcrumbs hinting this would go absolutely nuclear, and look what happened. Total detonation. We're barely past the 2-week mark and the money's flowing like a broken dam. Now project this forward 12 months out, 36 months, half a decade, a full decade. The tsunami of capital headed toward these XRP ETFs will be incomprehensible. And here's why you should care. These aren't paper products. They're holding legitimate XRP underneath. That's the crucial detail. This is actively warping the supply-demand balance for the whole XRP universe at a global level. What we're witnessing isn't just another product launch. It's a structural earthquake. And whenever an XRP product hits the market, the reaction is absolutely bonkers. Remember this gem from back in late October? RexoSpray XRP ETF surpasses $100 million in assets under management. They rolled out that ETF. But here's the thing. It's not built like your typical spot ETF. Yeah, it's got XRP backing it, but that's only a slice of what's inside. They've mixed in other holdings too. So technically speaking, it's playing in a different league than what we've been talking about, but still, it's a legitimate vehicle for getting XRP exposure, and it went absolutely bananas. Let that sink in for a minute. We're not even discussing one of those pure spot XRP ETFs like the ones dominating this conversation. Still crossed the $100 million threshold. The demand for access to this thing is intense. Need more proof? Check this out. This data is straight from CoinShares. Weekly breakdown from James Butterfield. Seriously, how perfect is that last name? Digital Asset Fund Flows Weekly Report. This report genuinely makes me grin every time. Feast your eyes on this. Quick heads up though, we're not just talking ETFs here. We're talking institutional money here. This tracks how institutions are moving capital across every individual coin sitting on your screen right now. Yeah, ETFs are baked into these numbers. Now look at Bitcoin, bleeding capital. And this covers the week closing out November 21st. This is the latest snapshot we've got our hands on. Weekly updates only, so this is it for now. Bitcoin hemorrhaged $1.26 billion in outflows, cash evacuating Bitcoin positions. Ethereum dropped $589 million in outflows. Solana got smacked with $156 million walking out the door. But then there's XRP, pulling in money, not bleeding it. Scored $89.3 million in inflows. And Everyone's paralyzed with panic right now. The market gripped by recent anxiety, extreme fear plastered all over the crypto fear and greed index. Meanwhile, XRP's climbing. And wait, there's more to this story. Check out the new account activity. This is what I was teasing earlier. Dropped hints about this at the top of the video. Scan those new account figures. The current baseline, yeah, it bounces around some, but your run-of-the-mill day is generating something like 5,000 fresh accounts popping up. So look, we're dancing somewhere in that 4,000 to 6,000 range these days. That's just become the everyday reality now. Sure, you've got some random days that shoot through the roof. You can catch those on screen. But the baseline? We're parked at around 5,000 new accounts popping up daily. That's absolutely bonkers when you think about it. All right, let me set the stage for you here. Earlier this year, like the whole January to June stretch, we were coasting at roughly 3,000 fresh accounts per day. That felt totally normal at the time. Watch the screen while I scroll across. You'll see it bounce around, some days pushing higher, others sliding lower, but 3,000 was pretty much home base. Now flash to where we are today. Even stacked against those first 6 months, there's this undeniable shift happening, a whole new level of buzz surrounding XRP that's sticking around. What's driving that? More hands reaching for XRP, more people piling it up, tucking it away into cold storage for safekeeping. That's the game unfolding right in front of us. But here's what really blows my mind. Take it back just a smidge over a year, and we were only logging around 1,000 new accounts daily. So let me map this out. Barely a year ago, 1,000 per day. First half of 2024, we jumped to 3,000 per day. And now, right here in this moment, 5,000 brand new accounts every single freaking day. And you know what the best part is? You're already planted here. You walked through that door while everyone else was still looking for the address. I need you to really sit with this for a moment. We're talking way under 1% of all humans who've ever held XRP at any point. Ever. And somehow, the price already punched up to an all-time high of $3.65 this year, with what I'd honestly describe as pretty tame levels of interest compared to what's possible. Now, picture what unfolds when the broader crowd actually jumps into crypto. Just hold tight, everyone. We haven't seen anything yet. That's the whole reason I'm giving you props right now. If you're catching this in November 2025, yeah, you legit showed up ahead of the curve. You absolutely did. Now, feast your eyes on this XRP rich list. Right now, we're looking at 7.34 million XRP wallets sitting out there. That figure, it's continuously pushing upward. Scan through this visual going back a full year. It just shoots vertical, straight up vertical. So CW dropped this post, snagged it straight from the XRP rich list database. Here's his takeaway. If you have more than 10,000 XRP, you're in the top 4% XRP rich. Let that marinate. He's absolutely correct. Top 4%. Hit that 10,000 XRP threshold and congratulations, you've broken into the top 4%. I'm confident a ton of you watching are planted right there already. You're part of this seriously compact circle holding what amounts to a capped asset. Gets scarcer as time rolls on, limited quantity built in, that circles back to what I touched on before. Less than 1% of Earth's population has ever picked up XRP, and it's still pushed through to $3.65. And loads of you catching this right now, I'm certain you're already logged in this zone. Matter of fact, basically everyone here, I'd stake it. You've locked in a seat within the top 10%. Punching your ticket into that top 10% of worldwide XRP holders, this premium league right in front of you, you're looking at just 2,311 XRP. That's your entry point. Now visualize what goes down when the rest of humanity charges in. Because trust me, momentum's building right this minute. That's the whole reason I laid out those wallet expansion figures before hitting you with these rankings. You can literally see it moving that way. The pieces are clicking for people. The timeline unfolds however it unfolds, but man. Listen, people in first world countries sink more money into their vehicles. That's a depreciating freaking asset, right? When you could be stacking this instead, which actually multiplies in worth as the calendar flips forward, provided we keep nailing our predictions, and the track record speaks for itself there. I've basically been parked here in waiting mode. Last time I ran the numbers, XRP sits at around half my entire crypto stash, and honestly, I wouldn't tweak that even slightly. The gains have been real, and I'm betting a bunch of you are living through something remarkably close to this. If you've been strapped in for this journey alongside me, and I know mountains of you share pretty much the exact same headspace I'm in right now, it's straight up electrifying. I genuinely cannot picture feeling anxious or down or any version of that, especially watching the trajectory we're on and understanding that XRP's core strength has never reached this level before. How on earth could you be anything except fired up as someone holding XRP? It's blatantly one of the first breakout winners surfacing in crypto, and here we are living through it. But project forward, imagine the landscape shifting. Cracking into that elite 4% of XRP holders across the globe is going to become virtually off limits because the price tag is going to balloon beyond reach. Virtually. Regular individuals simply won't have the funds to jump in. But that barrier doesn't exist today. Not in this moment we're in. Not throughout November 2025. The gate hasn't closed on people yet, particularly those in developed economies, which describes the bulk of you hearing my voice right now. I'm making it crystal clear. This chance is authentically present and sitting right in front of us. And here's something that cracks me up that I need to mention too. CoinDesk has poured over a decade now into irrationally demolishing XRP, fabricating idiotic headlines, blasting fear everywhere, smearing XRP together with Ripple, the whole dog and pony show. But look at this piece. It's up on your screen this very second. Even they're finally confessing XRP is rocketing way higher. All right, so listen to this. This is absolutely bonkers, and honestly, I think they're lowballing it big time. But here's the crazy part. Even they're starting to admit that XRP is finally ready to blast into price discovery territory. Look, they're being cautious, not making any wild promises, but just take a peek at these numbers. If validated, long-term Fibonacci projections place the extended upside target near $5.85, a 261.8% extension. Come on now, I know most of you are sitting there going, seriously? That's it? Pretty cautious call, wouldn't you say? And hey, no judgment on that, but think about it for a second. When even CoinDesk starts throwing around numbers like that, what does that tell you about where this could actually go? Man, watching this unfold is just nuts. Like genuinely mind-blowing stuff happening right now. The really good stuff is still coming down the pipeline, folks. This conversation never happened, deal? Oh, and real quick before I bounce, nothing I say here is financial advice, got it? Making investment decisions based on what some guy on YouTube tells you? Yeah, that's a spectacularly terrible idea on about 3 different levels. All right, I'll see you when the next video drops.